Hey YouTube, it's Grace, and in this week's video I'm going to be making another one of the new Minecraft paintings. Since I've revived this series, I've already made two of them, which are this one and this one. From here on out they're going to be a lot more complicated than that because those were the only 1x1s and 1x2s that the game added. But this is the reference picture for the one I'll be making in this video. And just a reminder, if you didn't know, I have tutorials or guides up on my Etsy if you would like to follow along and use them to make these paintings for yourself. Of course you can use this video as a tutorial and never any pressure to ever buy anything from me, but if you need something that's a little bit more detailed and in-depth compared to this video, then those are there for you. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so I was under the impression that Minecraft was adding a total of 15 new paintings, and so I went out and bought all of the canvases I would need to make them, and I spent like $160 on paint and canvases, and then I got home and I realized they're actually adding 20 more, so this isn't even all of it. What? Anyway, this is the painting I'm going to be making this week. It is 32 by 32 pixels. I just counted. And this is the canvas I'm going to be making it on. It is 20 by 20 inches. While I unbox this, I guess, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how I figure out the size of each pixel. So it's very simple. All you need to know is the size of your canvas, which in my case is 20 by 20 inches. And you also need to know how many pixels are in your image, so it's 32 by 32. And then all you do is take the 20 inches divided by 32 pixels, which I can't do that in my head, so give me a second. I may be a college graduate, but I'm no genius. 0.625. So that is how many inches each pixel is going to be wide and tall. So I'm going to use my trusty ruler and this pencil to go ahead and mark on all four sides every 0.625 inches, and then use my ruler to connect all those lines and make the grid. And here is the grid completely done. I think it turned out pretty good. Next I'll be adding a thin layer of this clear primer just to make sure that the pencil doesn't smear, because otherwise the paint will turn gray and my hand will turn gray, and I don't want either of those things to happen. Now that I've finished priming, I'm going to go ahead and paint the border, which I'm going to be using this brown color, which I think I used the same one for the last painting. Actually, no, the first painting. The first new painting. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I just made more of that. It is now the next morning and the primer and the border are completely dry, so I'm going to move on to the design, and I'm going to start with the background, which at first glance looks like black, but when you look closer it's actually a super dark purple. So I just mixed that by using permanent black and violet. I just filled in the little cherries on the cake, which I used a red color that I've already mixed, so I'm not entirely sure how I made it. But next I'm going to fill in the white and the light gray pixels around the cake. I think I have a pretty good start on the cake, so I'm going to move on to filling out the yellows in the sunflower. And I started out with this one for my lightest, which I just used this yellow color and some white. I finished the yellows in the flowers, and I also did a few more brown pixels, which I just used the same color as the border. And next I'm going to do the sunflower stem. So I'm starting with the lighter, more yellowy green, and I have this. The stem turned out pretty good, I think. So next I'm going to do the bottom part of the cake, which are some warm, lightish, orangish brown colors, and I'm going to reuse the colors that I mixed for my last painting and just use these. You know, if you ignore the little mistakes, it's looking pretty good so far, I think. The next color I'm going to fill in is the light purple around the sunflower, which I already mixed this. I think I used it in my last painting, so I'm just going to reuse it for this. It is the next day now, and I'm working on this like greenish gray color here. my goal today, like in an ideal world, I would love to finish the first coat of paint, but I'm also working on another video at the same time, so we'll see. I'm working on the vase part of the painting now, which as you can see on the right, there are a few different shades of purple, and then on the left, it's more different shades of pink, like a terracotta color. So I'm starting on the right with the purple colors. I just used a dark purple, light purple, magenta, white, kind of just a random combination of all those, and then I'm dotting them out and then just gonna fill the pixels in. Here's how it looks with most of the purples blocked out, and next I'm moving on to the more terracotta salmon-y colors, and I just mixed this for like the brightest one, which I used a combination of these three paints. For mixing the darker shades of pink, I'm just taking the colors and gradually adding a little bit more brown to them. I do also add a little bit more pink just to keep it from getting too brown, but I do want it to get darker and like a little bit less saturated, if that makes sense. And the first coat is officially done. It definitely needs a second coat. For the second coat, I will be adjusting the colors probably in the vase at least a little bit, and then probably lightening the reds here because I feel like they're too dark. But otherwise, I feel like this is a pretty good starting point. It's been a few days since I last painted, but I'm back and I'm going to work on the second coat today. Now, the main goal of the second coat is just to adjust the colors a little bit, to clean up the lines, and to make the paint more opaque, because obviously it doesn't look great right now. I finished the second coat of paint and I think it looks pretty good, except I did adjust the greens, so I'm gonna need to add a third coat of them. And I think the like orangish colors on the cake also will need a third coat just because they're really thin for some reason. But here's how it's looking so far. So once the second coat is dry, then I'll go ahead and make those touch-ups and then we can move on to the details. Well, I kind of forgot to film that, but I did the third coat of the colors. I also toned down the lightest pink in the vase because I just thought it was too bright. The way I did that was just by adding a little bit of brown. But now that the second and third coat is done of some colors and everything's looking very like opaque, it's time to move on to the detailing. And for starting, I feel like the sky just looks a little too bland. So what I'm gonna do is take this color and this color and mix them together just to get a very subtle transition shade, and just paint some like random pixels around to make the whole thing look more blocky, if that makes sense. You can see the difference is pretty subtle, but I really like the little detail that it adds to it. And for the next detailing, I'm going to be doing some down here, and I'll be doing that just by taking colors and mixing them 50-50 to get a transition, and then painting that color like in between the two. I think I might be done. I'm gonna let it dry and then make the final decision from there. You can see I also added some detailing around the border, but I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I've been letting it dry for a while, and I think it's time for the grand reveal. I kind of have to get it at a weird angle so there's no glare from the light, but I really love how this painting turned out. It has the cake, it has the sunflower, it has the vase, and I just baked a Minecraft cake a few videos ago. So I think this is pretty fitting. Here is a close-up shot so you can see all of the different details and colors that I added. I think it looks so cool up close. So complicated. And here it is from a little bit further back so you can see the big picture. One thing I like about pixel art is how much different paintings look from further back versus close up. It's kind of cool. But that's just about it for this video. If you are interested in seeing a higher quality photo of this painting I just made, I will have one on my Instagram here, notgracelive. I have tons of pictures and videos of my other art as well if you're interested. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one.